When you're proactively applying for jobs, you're going to run into two things very, very frequently all the time, and that's applications and then the role of human resources. So we're just going to take an extra quick moment to talk about that, and we'll talk about more of this in great detail throughout the course, how to go beyond some of the screening things that you'll see happening here, and how to overcome things with an online application, like an exam or a test that they might do online. So with first thing, just to kind of build this base, is online applications. Small, medium companies still might let you send things directly to them, either through an email or something like that. But most companies, because it's so inexpensive now, are using an online application process. If you've started your search already, you probably have run into this over and over again. And let's be honest, it's tedious. Oh my gosh, it's awful. Some of the systems don't even work very well, and it won't let you just upload your resume, or it won't let you upload your resume and it says, oh, it's supposed to pull from your resume and help fill out the application, and that doesn't seem to work. And it's almost like you're redoing an application every single time. In fact, some companies with their online applications make you fill it out word for word right from the beginning every time. And so it's very, very tedious, and it's an unfortunate necessary evil of the process. And you may even have to take a test, a pre-employment test. So you're applying online, and before you even get to talk to somebody, they might ask you, an interview type question, or have you do some basic math programs or whatever, as a way of sorting out through people. And it really can seem like a black hole. Like, gosh, I'm applying to all these places, and it just seems like I'm going to a black hole. And no, I'm not getting a response, and they're rude. Why won't they even respond to me? And they really should respond to everybody. But some companies are getting thousands, maybe 5,000, 10,000 applications in some of these large, highly desirable tech companies, for example, and maybe they just can't respond to everybody, but at least even a form letter would be good, just that somebody looked at it, even if it was a machine. So it can be kind of a downer, these necessary evils as online applications as part of that process. And then human resources, understand a little bit about them too, because they're related to this, is understand that human resources are your HR people, lovely people, but they're staff. They're not line management. They're not the decision maker. They're not the hiring manager. Unless it's a human resource person hiring somebody for their department specifically. But normally what their role is they're helping the hiring manager to sort and find candidates, source candidates, and evaluate candidates, and getting that to the hiring manager. And it's a very, very important role that they play. And the most important role they play with that, because these hiring managers can't look through thousands of resumes or even a few, is the important role that human resources play, and it's not a good one for us, is screening. They're there to screen you out. They might not necessarily be looking for the best candidate, especially with online applications. They're not looking necessarily who's great to that extent. They're mostly looking like, how can we screen people out? To narrow that pool down. Then we can start looking at who's our best candidates. And they seem nice. Look at this person here. She seems very nice. I'm sure she's very nice. Probably loves cats and dogs and maybe has a nice family. But she's the person who's just going to screen you out with spending less than 2 seconds looking at your resume. Like, ugh, thanks for that. You're not so nice now, huh? Are you? No, she's nice. All right, so she's nice. But that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to screen you out. So the online application is a screening out process. That's why they might have questions right early on. They're going to have machines most likely look at that. And we're going to talk about how to write resumes and applications, things to be better working with machines that are looking for keywords. Again, the machines are trying to sort you out. Then it goes to a human being who's going to sort you out. And many times you'll have a screening interview with a human resource person. Again, they're not necessarily looking for the best candidates. They're just looking to ask a few questions to screen people out. They might even ask you about salary requirements right away. And you're like, I don't want to share that because that might be, and why are you even asking me that? Because they're trying to screen you out. If you're looking for too high a salary, then they're going to screen you out. When we get to the interview section, we're going to have a whole part about how to answer that salary question, particularly during a screening period, or things that we're going to get in great detail about, overcoming screening interviews. But that's what they do, and that's part of when you're proactively applying to jobs. You got to get through that necessarily a part of the online application and human resources to get to the hiring manager and where you want to be, because then you can really, share your stuff and really share your skills and abilities, and knowledge and all that stuff. So that's what's happening there with them. All right, so now we're going to talk about being found, and how you can go find companies on job boards and job aggregators, but also they can find you and some of the things that you want to be on in terms of a job board or a job aggregator.